Have you ever wondered why some people achieve more in life, while others struggle despite working hard? We're exploring the 7 habits that can transform your personal and professional effectiveness, straight from Stephen R. Covey's timeless guide. Stephen Covey explains effectiveness through a simple but powerful idea: the balance between results and the ability to produce those results. He calls this the PPC balance, production and production capability. Imagine a goose that lays golden eggs. The eggs represent results, but the goose represents the capability that produces those results. If you focus only on the eggs and neglect the goose, eventually the results stop. True effectiveness comes from balancing both, achieving results while continuously maintaining and improving the systems, relationships, and personal capacity that produce them. Asterisk. Ask yourself, are you chasing results or also strengthening the systems that produce them? This is called the character ethic versus personality ethic. Introduction to Covey's philosophy. Stephen Covey's philosophy isn't about quick fixes. It's about character, principles, and long-term effectiveness. These habits move you from dependence to independence, and eventually to interdependence, the highest form of effectiveness. For centuries, success was built on what Stephen Covey calls the character ethic, values like integrity, humility, courage, and responsibility. But in modern times, success advice shifted toward the personality ethic: quick fixes, image, influence tricks, and surface-level techniques. Covey reminds us that lasting success doesn't come from appearance. It comes from who you are at your core. True effectiveness grows from character, not shortcuts. A paradigm is the way we see the world, but sometimes our thinking limits our potential. Stephen Covey explains that real growth requires a paradigm shift, a fundamental change in the way we think, perceive, and understand situations. When our perspective changes, our behavior changes. And when our behavior changes, our results transform. Asterisk. Change the way you see things, and the things you see will change. Imagine a farmer who owns a goose that lays 1 golden egg every day. One day, driven by greed, he kills the goose, hoping to get all the gold at once. But the goose was the source of the eggs. Stephen Covey calls this the PPC balance, production and production capability. The eggs represent results. The goose represents the ability to produce those results. True effectiveness means protecting the goose while collecting the eggs. Asterisk. Results plus capability equals long-term effectiveness. Covey describes a maturity continuum. Most people start independence. They rely on others. Through personal growth, we reach independence, managing ourselves effectively. But true success comes through interdependence, collaborating, leading, and influencing others positively. Personal growth follows a path Stephen Covey calls the maturity continuum. We begin independence, relying on others. As we grow, we develop independence, the ability to manage ourselves. But the highest level is interdependence, where we collaborate, create, and achieve far greater results together. The 7 habits are designed to guide us along this journey. Effective people aren't born, they are made through habits. Covey's principle is simple: change your habits, and you change your life. In this session, we'll break down these 7 habits and show you how to apply them immediately. But here's something surprising. Most people fail at the first habit, not because it's difficult, but because they misunderstand where their power truly lies. Habit 1. Be proactive. Highly effective people take responsibility for their actions. Instead of reacting to circumstances, they focus on what they can control. Habit 1 is about taking responsibility for your life. Proactive people focus on what they can control instead of blaming circumstances. Imagine this. Instead of reacting to traffic or emails, you decide how you respond. Small choices like these compound into massive impact. Remember, your response to a challenge defines your results. We all have things we worry about, the circle of concern, but we can't control most of these: the traffic, the news, office politics. Habit 1, be proactive, teaches us to focus on our circle of influence. These are the things we can change: our actions, our responses, our mindset. Focus here, and your influence grows. Shift your energy to what you can control, and watch your effectiveness soar. Asterisk. What's one thing in your circle of influence you'll act on today? Comment below. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Visualize your goals clearly before taking action. Highly effective people live with purpose. They know their destination and plan their journey accordingly. Habit 3 is all about prioritization. Work on what matters most, not what screams the loudest. Use the 80-20 principle. 20% of your efforts produce 80% of your results. Focus on the high-impact tasks first, and watch your productivity soar. Habit 4 teaches us to seek mutually beneficial solutions. Win-win isn't about compromise. It's about collaboration. When we approach relationships and negotiations with abundance thinking, everyone wins. Habit 5 is about empathetic communication. Most people listen to reply, not to understand. Effective people first truly understand others' perspectives, then communicate their own. This builds trust, influence, and meaningful connections. Habit 6 is the power of teamwork. Synergy happens when the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Diverse perspectives, when combined effectively, create solutions you couldn't achieve alone. Collaboration multiplies impact. Habit 7 is renewal. Take care of your body, mind, heart, and spirit. Continuous self-improvement ensures sustainability. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Sharpening the saw keeps you effective over the long term. The 7 habits work together like gears in a clock. Each habit reinforces the others. Mastering these habits is not a sprint. It's a lifelong journey toward personal and professional effectiveness. Now that we understand these powerful principles, it's time to explore the 7 habits that transform ordinary people into highly effective individuals. These habits move us from dependence to independence, and ultimately to powerful collaboration and impact. Which habit will you start with today? Be proactive. Plan your end goal. Prioritize what matters. Think win-win. Listen first. Synergize or sharpen the saw. Comment below with the habit you'll apply first. And if you found this valuable, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more productivity insights. Remember, effectiveness isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Apply these 7 habits consistently, and watch your life transform. See you in the next video. Monday Thompson is a strategic productivity systems specialist with almost 2 decades of real-world experience, helping individuals and organizations move from intention to execution. Here, you'll learn how to build habits, systems, and routines that compound over time the same principles used to drive sustainable performance in high-impact environments. If you're serious about growth, consistency, and long-term success, you're in the right place. Subscribe, comment, like, and share for more. The ones who think they are crazy enough to change the world are the ones who do.